Doctors play a very important role in our lives. These are the guys who help us manage our health, and they are always guiding us and telling us what to do, what not to do, how to take care of ourselves. But isn't it important that someone should be there to help them, to guide them on their financial health? And that is the exact aim of today's program. Welcome to SBI Mutual Fund presents Invest Smart Mutual Funds ke Sath, partnered by ET Now, where today in the studio I'm joined by a set of doctors who will be talking to our experts, asking their questions about their financial health. Allow me to introduce my two guests. First up, we have Sandeep Sharma. He's the EVP and National Head Retail Sales and Distribution Alliances at SBI Mutual Fund. Thank you, Sandeep, for being here. And we also have Gajendra Kothari, who's the MD and CEO at Etika Wealth Private Limited. Thank you, Gajendra, for being here. Thank you, audience, for taking out time to come here and join us on this special session. Gajendra, let's first start up. So we have a group of doctors here. As the saying goes, an apple a day keeps the doctors away. Clearly, we have not eaten apples today. But why do doctors specifically need to be aware of financial planning? What is your thought behind that?
Absolutely, Sumit. You know, as they say, doctors always try to help us be in the pink of health, right? But doing so, they forget, how to be in the pink of wealth as well. They're so busy helping others, and that is where I think personal finance becomes really very important. Today everything revolves around money. So if from beginning we know the importance of money, I think then later we don't have to struggle for it. You all work very hard, 12, 14, 16 hours a day, at least in the start of your career to begin with. Your money has to also work hard for you, right? And not just 5 days a week, it has to be like, working hard 7 days a week as well. Yes. So that is why this knowledge has to be imparted early in life. Unfortunately, Sumit, these things are not taught in our schools, colleges, even in medical schools, these things are least taught. And people learn the hard way by making mistakes, right? I started at the age of 30 and I was late. Today I think I was late. So I think forums like these, play a very important role in understanding. And there are many nuances of investing, right? So we need to know what is the right way, particularly for you. There's no one size fits all. But at least if we can understand the broader contours of investing, we'll do well.
Sandeep, one important thing also, like Gajendra said, is doctors are doing 12 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours. So obviously they don't have time to monitor their money. In that space, how do you see mutual funds playing their role where they can help doctors manage their personal finance without having, without them having to put too much thought to it?
Right, good question. So see, what I sincerely believe is that ultimately all of us, not only doctors any which way are spending so much time away from their home, and they are always busy. But any one of us who really needs to plan well for his or her finances needs to have a Sathi. So it's very important. Mutual funds are a good way of starting your investment journey. But I think what is more important is for you to understand that what are your needs, what are your goals, when you want what kind of money, and you have to plan, in advance. So therefore, mutual funds are fantastic tools for taking you through that wealth creation journey. But I think the first step is for you to first of all understand what are your goals, have someone who can guide you in terms of where to invest, for how long to invest, because it's not that simple. As probably many of you would not have that kind of an extensive understanding of finance. And that's where probably, a good advisor can play a very critical role in terms of creating a plan for you. And after creation of a plan, mutual funds comes in, you invest in those products, and then you reap the benefits.
Fantastic. So, in fact, let's go to the audience. If anyone has any questions, any thoughts that you would want to discuss with us on investing, if anyone would like to speak, we'll get. Yes, sir.
My question is, there are a variety of mutual funds. Some are close-ended, some are open-ended, some are sector-specific. So we are very confused how to select the right mutual fund.
So, you rightly mentioned that there are so many different types of mutual funds, and I think that is also an opportunity for an investor. And as Gajendra also mentioned, in his remarks, that there is no one type of investor. Investors are also very different. Their needs are different. Their risk profiles are different. They are at different stage of their journey. Their professional journey also. So, mutual funds definitely have a lot of options, and all these options can be utilized by the right kind of a person. And I think, for a starter to begin this journey, probably you should start with a diversified equity fund. That is probably the best way to start your journey. Once you understand the nuances of the market, once you have gone through ups and downs, and probably you have some kind of an understanding on a particular sector, like you are all doctors, so maybe you have some insights on pharma, so you can take that jump. But you have to appreciate and understand that sectoral funds are kind of very risky. You have to time your entry and exit in those funds, and diversified equity funds are kind of all season funds. So my suggestion would be that if you are on this journey on your own, start with a diversified fund. If you have someone who can advise you, definitely then you should not worry about it.
Gajendra, very important point by Sandeep. He said diversified equity fund. So I want to focus on the word diversified, because in investing also, diversification is important. Now, diversification, we call it asset allocation also, heavy words. Can you simplify it for our audience and for our viewers?
Yeah, so mutual fund is an amazing vehicle where even if you're 500 rupees, right, you can invest in any diversified equity fund. By putting your money 500 rupees, you get a diversified portfolio, which is very difficult to buy if you were to buy an individual stock. In 500 rupees, there are many stocks which you can't even buy, right? But by investing in a diversified fund, you are getting exposure to 50 top companies of India through that fund, right? And if these 50 companies as a basket do well, your money grows over a period of time, right? So you don't need to have a larger amount to begin with, like as a 500,000 rupees, you can start your journey. Test the waters, and over a period of time, as you get more confidence, you can invest, a higher sum. And again, there are hundreds of funds in the industry, So as a person, you might get confused. I always say, look, before getting into the funds, you have to know where do you want to go, what are your goals, because the fund is just a vehicle to use. Based on the goals, we should have a plan. Okay, how to achieve that goal or those goals. And then the plan will recommend a portfolio, or the advisor, Sathi, will recommend a portfolio which is suitable for your profile. And then you should implement and monitor your progress. That's how the journey should be.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You are saying that you tie the investment to your goals. So this is the only option, or you should also calculate how much you will get. You decide on the exit time depending upon better returns. What is the time you should stay invested? Some light on that.
Yeah, Dr. Alka, very good question. Unfortunately, 95% people focus on returns and, can I get high returns? That's not the right way. We always say, what is the end purpose of money? To make sure you achieve your financial goals, right? In the end, after 20 years of investing, you don't want to compare that I have earned 18% and my neighbor has earned 15% and I'm happy, right? What if that 18% has not helped you to achieve the goals you wanted? So your key metric should always be goals, And whether we have earned 10% or whether this fund is good, bad, is 5% of the entire thing. Most people miss the bigger picture. They don't know where to go in the first place. So if you don't know where to go, then whichever train you take, it doesn't help. Rajdhani might be the fastest train, but what's the point if it is going to a wrong direction at all? So yes, the fund performance timing is important, but that's only 5% of the entire thing. 95% are the larger things like goals, plans, staying, with the goals, staying throughout the journey, continuing the journey is more important than A fund versus B fund.
So excuse me if I ask one more question. How do you decide your goal?
As I said, it's all personal. So, the few non-negotiable goals for anybody would be like retirement goal. Like, we all want to have a dream retirement, buying a dream house, sending our children to best university, best college, India or abroad. Like, these are three basic goals every Indian or, citizen would have. Then you can have other discretionary goals like luxury spending. You want to buy a holiday home or you want to travel international. These are other goals, right? So you have to have, since we have limited money, all of us, we have to prioritize our goals. The goals which are absolutely non-negotiable, and then the good to have goals, right? So once you put down the goals on paper and work towards it, That's the first step we should be doing.
Ma'am, your question.
Since the lockdown, I've been doing my mutual funds on my own. It has been a very satisfying journey to invest and to see your returns grow. Yes, it's not like share market where you get fantastic returns. It's a slow journey, but it's been a good and stable journey. Right. So I would just like some comments on whether we should do that, or should we still, take some help of somebody we do take a help of a personal finance person. But beyond that, some parts we do it on our own.
So absolutely, you have to, work on yourself. I think all of you are very intelligent. For you, it's not very difficult to catch up finance. Finance is not rocket science. It's very simple. The only thing is there are certain rules. Now, why we suggest that you have someone by your side is because you don't have time. And this is true not only for you, any professional, you are so much involved in your day-to-day work that at times you're not able to really take those calls which are needed. That's why you need. But any which way, even if you have an advisor, you need to be self-informed. Mutual fund, in my view, is one of the most transparent product which is available in this country. Every day you come to know what the fund manager has done through an NAV. Every month you come to know what has gone in and what has gone out of the portfolio. So I think this kind of a transparency is not available in any other product. And that's why, it makes your life any which way easier. And you can keep a track of your investments also like this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm Dr. Sampada. I want to ask how to differentiate between short-term investment tools and long-term investment tools. Like whether we have any options in mutual fund like that?
You have short-term investments. The only thing is that you have to understand that short-term investments are not going to be that much rewarding as long-term investments. So you will have to compromise on return, but that apart, any which way, if you need money, say after 3 months, after a month, or maybe even after a week, there are options which are available in the mutual fund. You can invest in an overnight fund or a liquid fund. If you have any need which is there within a week, 10 days, 15 days, you can invest in these kind of products. Whenever you need money, you put in a redemption, next day morning your account gets credited. If you have, say, one month, 1 to 3 months, there are products which can, give some kicker to your return. There are money market funds which are available. There are low duration funds which are available. These days, because of the volatility that we are seeing in stock market, there is this product called as arbitrage funds which are available, which are tax effective also, and they are not that risky. There are options which are long-term and short-term which are available depending upon your need. Mutual funds have all kinds of products.
One long-term goal for everyone, like you also mentioned earlier, is retirement planning. But the concern becomes, whatever my age is right now, X, in how many years will I retire? Now, at that time, how much is the money I will need? And in that time, what rate should I be getting returned to? So this projection, how do you guide people on this? Because that is something which becomes a really big goal that they see, and that kind of discourages people more than encourages them.
Absolutely, Sumit. I think that's a very valid question. See, there is a myth around this. Many times I've seen videos that, I want to just have 1 crore rupees for my retirement and I'll be sorted, right? I can take retirement. That's not how it works, actually. We should not go by these larger numbers just for the sake of it. So you need to arrive to a very scientific number. And thankfully, there are almost all mutual fund websites and other websites have retirement calculator. Put in your age that I'm 43 right now. At 60, if I want to retire, my monthly expenses today is 2 lakh rupees per month. But 2 lakh will not remain 2 lakh after 15 years. Yeah. There is a thing called inflation. So today's 2 lakh will become 5 lakh after 15 years. Now, from 60 till 85, if my expenses are 5 lakh and increasing, how much corpus I need to have the day I retire? And that corpus might come 9 crore 55 lakhs, suppose. Now that's a big number, right? And many people get disenchanted by seeing that number. Oh, I can't create 9 crore 55 lakhs. You don't have to create today. You have to create 9 crore 55 lakhs over a 15-year period. And to achieve that 9 crore 50 lakhs, what is that figure? You have to work backwards that how much monthly do I need to invest? And if the monthly amount comes 50,000, right? That sounds more easier way to think. You have to take one step at a time, right? So again, the question might come, okay, I don't have 50,000 also, which means should I abandon this plan? No, even if you're 20,000, begin with 20,000, right? See, the Google map will tell you that this is the time it will take, right? But if you can increase your investments over a period of time, you know, you'll be able to achieve this. So go scientific, right? Rather than just thinking of that larger numbers, 1-2 crore, go which is suitable to you, right? And I'm sure as you go along the journey, you'll see your corpus being accumulated. And anytime when you get bonus or anything, just top it up. You know, we have something called top-ups. SIP goes every month, that's a discipline. But if you have got 2 lakh extra this year, why don't you top up? That will help you reach faster, right? Yeah. So go through this once in a year, review your plan. I think you should do quite well.
And always remember, risk of living is more than risk of death. So if you survive over a long period of time, you need a lot of money. So you have to plan it. You have to start planning today.
So my question is actually to both of you, if you could enlighten us from a point of view of young India. So I'm also 30 at the moment, and I'm hoping to invest in, and I've heard a lot about insurances, life insurance, Mediclaim, and mutual funds, as well as equity. So if I am planning to save from my regular income, regular or irregular income, how do I, what is the ratio? What is an ideal ratio which I can, and what are the risks and rewards with these 3 compartments, insurance, mutual funds, and equity as well?
No, very important question, Dr. Shrikant. So my take on this is that for the first thing you should do, anybody should do, is first take a term insurance. That's where you should begin with. Okay, what do I mean by term insurance? You are the breadwinner in the family. Family has invested a lot in your education. You know, medical science is a very long drawn kind of a profession. You invest a lot of money and your time, and you know, if something were to happen to you, then the family might be deprived of the cash flows that might have come. So I'll give you my example. I have a 8 crore term insurance today, and I pay around 1.5 lakh rupees premium. I bought my first insurance when I was 24, right? The younger you buy, the premium remains low and it doesn't escalate, right? How much term insurance you should buy? At least 10 to 20 times of your annual income. Okay, so if you have an annual income of 10 lakhs rupees, ideally I would say go for a 2 crore term insurance cover. At your age, it might cost 20-25,000 rupees per annum. Okay, that's the cheapest. Once you have term insurance, which takes care of your life part, then have a good health insurance cover. In a city like Bombay, 25 lakh, 50 lakh would be reasonable, because we want to go to the best hospitals. We don't want to be, you know, compromising on our service. So 25 lakh to 50 lakh cover you buy. Again, it's very reasonable, you know. Only when you have done these 2 risk protection things, then you should look for investments. And again, when you look for investments, start with your shorter term goals, right? Because, you know, you may want to buy a car in 6 months' time or a holiday in 1 year time. First, try and address those issues. Retirement or house purchase 10 years down the line comes the next step. So we have to deal, you know, one step at a time and plan it. As I said, you have to have goals, plan, and then the portfolio.
Sandeep, you want to come in on the part that he was talking about equity and mutual funds?
Right. So, you know, what we have seen is post-COVID, there has been a huge surge in terms of opening of demat accounts. People started feeling during that period that they can make money very easily. And I think most of them have had a, you know, shocker. As you are suggesting, there are people who are coming to you with these problems. What I strongly believe is that if you don't understand something, don't venture into it. And equity investing is not that simple. There are so many variables which are there. There are so many things that you have to keep a track of. If you believe you can do that, only then venture. You can, you know, how I can look at it is that, you know, part of your portfolio, primarily majority of that should go into mutual funds. And maybe, you know, you are very young as on date, and you can definitely experiment, and provided that you are willing to learn. And as I told you, there are so many options to learn which are available. Maybe a small portion of money, you can start investing directly into equity. Maybe you can start looking at large caps only, you know, established companies, and then try to get a taste of it. But primarily, you know, I think you need to have a plan, as Gajendra mentioned. After taking care of all the insurances, you need to set your goals, whether short-term, long-term goals, and then you start investing accordingly. You know, once again, I'll say, I'm not saying this because I work in mutual fund. Mutual funds are probably the best way which a normal investor can invest in and then start his journey of wealth creation. It's very important for you to create wealth. you're making money. That money has to work for you. And that is possible only if you start early, if you start investing in right kind of product and you have a plan, you stick to it, you don't get bothered by the tips which are available. Today tips also come and people believe that they can make money fast. Don't go for shortcut.
Say if I'm an individual, a doctor, and I want to buy the properties or have a chain of clinics or hospital, what would you advise? Would you advise me to buy a property or just go on rental space, or what is it?
Sure, I think that's very valid question, Sumit. We keep getting this question, quite regularly on the shows. That should I buy a property, particularly early in life, when you start your career. And I'll give you my example. Okay, so I'm not a big proponent of buying a property early in your life. Okay, for many reasons. First, in a city like Mumbai or any other metro city, I always say first 15-20 years of your life are the most crucial. Okay, stay closer to your work, right? If you're working in a hospital, try and stay closer so that you can avoid the traffic and invest that much into your health or your knowledge, right? Go for a rental property because you don't know which city you will finally end up living, right? Because these days we travel, life takes us wherever, right? So, and first 15 years, let your money compound, right? So I have been living in Mumbai on a rental property for the last 20 years, okay? And but I've always stayed closer to work. So, and in major cities, the rental yields are 2-3%. While, as Sandeep mentioned, your investments can compound at 14-15%. So let your money work for the next 15-20 years. And by the time you're 45-50, you would have become far more mature. Okay, you would have got a large corpus thanks to compounding, right? And you will also know which city, which area to settle in, right? And then, with that corpus, go and buy that property which you wanted.
My question is that when I was 22 years old, my mother gave me a financial advisor. I outsourced all of my investments, and that's how I started. Now, for people who want to invest, but they don't know how to start or where to start, whether they should trust their financial advisor, how they can monitor whether their financial advisor is making the right decision, that's what I wanted to know. Like, how can we do that?
Again, I throw back the question to you. How do you go to a doctor? Yeah. Right? It's exactly the same process. Either you go by the recommendations from your family and friends, or nowadays you have the Google option where you see the ratings of doctors. A lot of things are transparent now, right? That's how you have to do. And just like with doctors, it's trial and error. Even the best doctor might not fit for me sometimes. We have seen. So you may have to go to one doctor and second and third until you find the right fit and match. Same thing happens with a financial advisor, right? You may not be lucky in the first time. If you're lucky, that's great. But sometimes second or third, it's quite okay. It's quite okay. Life is really long, right? But once you have known that this financial advisor is really good for me, and you trust, then you should really trust that financial advisor.
Anytime, even if you're reading the paper or you're watching it on TV, radio, online, if you hear about some financial term that you're just pick up the smartphone, Google it. At least you'll get something like Sandeep said, small cap funds. If you don't know what that is, just Google it. You'll get some idea at least. And maybe that's the one new thing you've learned today. That's it. It's that one day at a time kind of journey. So, and I hope that today's session has helped you, started you off, taken you ahead in that journey. So thank you so much, Sandeep, for taking out time, being here. Thank you, Gajendra. And thank you to all the doctors for taking out time, for coming here. You've been watching this very special episode of SBI Mutual Fund presents Invest Smart Mutual Funds ke saath, partnered by ET Now. Thank you so much for watching.